Hello everybody, welcome to a very special PlayStation edition of Save Slot 3. I'm your host, you have Gizmo, joined us by Massive Dad Chris Pengelly.
Hey everyone.
So Chris, this is a bit of a throwback, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Us talking
Yes.
about PlayStation
Oh
on the
yeah.
podcast.
What else would you talk about anyway?
Exactly. So we're just here to do just a little catch up, just chat about PlayStation, what we want to try and achieve for the year, and just excuse really, innit? Talk about trophies. That's basically what we've done. So Chris, first of all,
Yes.
how are you? Are you okay?
I'm good. I'm good. Yeah.
And are you ready to talk about trophies?
I do love a trophy.
We'll get to your trophy list in a minute. So let's get all the magic here, ladies and gentlemen. So here is Chris Pengelly's PlayStation profile. So Chris has got 74 platinums. That's really the only number we care about. The rest of the numbers aren't that important, right? Me and you have long lived. The platinum is the only way.
Yeah, like the level thing is kind of weird because obviously in the PlayStation wrap up it was kind of putting importance like you went up this many levels this year and
I don't think any of it was true either, to be honest.
And your level affects, I think, your PlayStation stars in some way as well.
Yeah,
I think,
you get more points obviously, back, I think.
Yeah, and obviously, if you buy more games and unlocking more, like, is it rare thing? Obviously, I'm level 4 on my stars. I can't go up any higher. Even there's a rumored secret diamond level 5. I don't even know how you would even get that. So, kind of got a little bit of importance now, and it's like true trophies that track it. But yeah, it's platinums, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. So I kind of think it's platinums, and then what's been a thing for us for the last couple of years has been the completion percentage. It's probably our number 2 point at this point. And obviously, this is different to true trophies, which is what we use. I'm just showing this because it's a little bit more snazzy. There's a lot of ads though on PSN profiles, but I have a premium true trophies account, so no ads over here. Yeah, me and you have always been platinum trophies, completion percentage. I quite like PlayStation stars, but you're right. There needs to be more levels to it because again, like I've got loads of like the rare collectibles.
Yeah.
And I've got obviously like we play all of the games that come out and try and get the points. I've got a lot of money back from PlayStation Stars. I think PlayStation Stars at the minute is actually better than Microsoft Rewards because they've made the rewards way less on Microsoft. I don't know if you've noticed that.
They've just got rid of the like game specific ones as well, haven't they? I think.
Yeah, it's so hard to get a £5 gift card now, whereas I've had like 3 or 4 £5 gift cards from PS Stars.
Because that was when again with both wrap-ups, like my Xbox one, if you went on like True Achievements and looked how many Xbox games I played, I think I played like 39 or something like that. Yeah, apparently Xbox reckon I played like 70 odd because I was doing like, play Sea of Stars or whatever, and I just load it up, get my 5 weights, and then just delete it off the profile sort of thing. But it doesn't seem to be any of them now. It's just literally play a Game Pass game. Here's 5 points or whatever.
Yeah, and obviously we're not going to turn this into an Xbox v PlayStation thing because we like them both. But like it is a bit frustrating when you just want to, if you've got a reward system. I don't know why they changed it because I thought it was good. But PS Stars has got better, which is good. So let's look at our profiles on True Trophies. Let's go to you first, because it's easier to compare because yours is a slightly older account. So yes, let's see. So you've got a 39.4% completion.
Oh yes, I believe that includes DLC I own. Yeah, because it is
because that's different. If you go on PSN profile, you've got 35.
Yeah, because I can fudge it if you take out the DLC and you only put it on like PS5 or something. My completion's like 57%. But obviously, and then if you were to do that just for the Vita, for instance, it goes down to like 22% sort of thing. So it is a bit skewed, I guess, because obviously playing on PS3, PS4, PS5, and the Vita, how that affects, plus the DLC.
Plus all of the VRs, Chris. You forgot both the VR platforms you've played on. Yeah, that's true. So we'll just put mine up next, and then we'll talk about it more. So we can keep this on mine a little bit at the top here. So mine is 52 platinums, which is not as high. And my completion percentage has actually gone down because I've started games recently. So mine is 37.7. but I think it was less than 30 last year. I remember there was the last year or the year before I had a real push and I pushed it right up. I think it was 29, and then I've managed to get it over. It's much worse on Xbox. Mine's the same as you, whereas like we played a lot of Vita when it was sort of in its heyday, and that has killed my percentage completely.
Yeah, it's killed mine when I filter it just to Vita, and it's like, oh, it's 21%. Well, which kind of makes sense because obviously we had that time where we were playing a lot of Vita stuff. Basically, any indie Vita game come out, we would buy and play just because it's a new indie Vita. I'm like, I own like 100+ physical Vita games, so they've all been like in the console once, maybe got like a trophy on them and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, it depends how. I don't know how long the people that watch this podcast have watched it. So, it's mostly our friends. You'd think quite a long time, but when we started this, which was in 2016, we were so high on the Vita. We reviewed games for Nintendo, as it was known at the time. I think it's still called that. And we would, like said, every Japanese game, every indie game. Like me and you were buying like Civilization on it and XCOM on it, and then I think I had Borderlands on it. Like you were like buying games like Disgaea that you weren't going to play, and like every little game, me and you were like, oh well, we're playing it on Vita. I don't care if it runs worse. Like we're playing it on Vita. You know, we were like, oh, what's your most anticipated game? Oh, it's Severed and Freedom Wars. Yeah. And you were like, what? But yeah, what a great time.
And it's like, oh, this new visual novel, co-released something winter something. Yes, and brand new physical Vita game. I need that.
Yeah, and we'll get to like one of the things I miss from that gen in a sec when we look at your trophy list. The stuff has got a lot worse, Bengi. So let's go in depth. We're on me again, so we'll click on my platinums and we'll go through my platinums. We'll do this in date order because I think that's probably more interesting. So I started off with Borderlands, Tales from the Borderlands, Chris, on the 1st of December 2015. How does that make you feel? Old. And then the most recent one is Need for Speed, which I did in October of last year.
That's pretty
good. In terms of ratio wise, my highest is obviously all of my racing games. So I've got Dirt 5, F1 Manager 2022, Dirt 5 again, Rocket League, Need for Speed. I've got a type of game I like, Chris.
I've
got a type of game I like, but yeah, some good platinums. I'm pretty happy with my platinum list overall. I wish I could delete the ones that let's just show the ones that I wish I could delete. I wish I could delete the Chick C, for example, and Chickens on the Road. It's weird now because we've got into tiers, and we'll talk about this more in a minute. Because back in the day, me and you'd be like, "Oh, Jack and Jill DX, what trash!" But in reality, that's actually a video game, at least. Whereas like the Chick C is not a video game.
No,
like we just paid for trophies there, but you know, mine aren't too awful. There's some bad ones in there, and there's a fair chunk of Rat Leaky games. Probably 10, 15 of these aren't that good. But then we get to like the Artful Escape and Tacoma pretty quickly on my list, which are actual video games. They're just easy video games, right?
Yeah.
You, on the other hand, Mr. Pengelly. Because we can even tell a little story in a minute, can't we? Let's figure out how to use this website.
Yeah. Is it story time with story time?
So let's go on Massive Das. Let's load this up. Come on.
Yeah.
So as you can see here, I said to Chris, let's do a trophy video and we'll set goals. So Chris immediately bought and played 4 of the joke platinums I was on about. So I had to then reset it to make it. We're doing a video, Chris. But that's really. So let's look at yours, because your problem is you've got some really, really good ones. So let's do this by ratio here. So like I know these top 2 were glitched, but they're still good platinums to have, which is Stranded Deep and God of War 3. But like Killzone Liberation's a really good platinum. RoboCop's a really good platinum. Last of Us Part 1, I don't like the game, but it's a platinum that you should have. Like Shenmue isn't an awful platinum. Concrete Genie's a pretty good game. Obviously the Spider-Man games, like some good stuff in here. But your great crime, unfortunately, Chris, is Quizmaster France, USA, Spain. Now I'm Hungry from the Jumping Pasta Turbo. So I think really for you, this is something we need to cut out this year. I think that's I think you need to make an effort. Not even because it's like it's one of those, and I've said this to you before. Like when you've got like 150 platinums, by all means get 50 of these to get to 200. But when you're on like, because you're on 74,
Yeah.
It's like, come
Now,
on, like
yeah.
these last 26 have got to be. They don't have to be like Demon Souls, but they can be
Mm.
like, I don't know, Life is Strange, or like indies, like the games we play on Game Pass.
Yeah, but saying that, I'm looking at 2023, which what 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So I got 14 platinums apparently in 2023. I reckon, I think it's 4 here are the quiz, the Quiz Master Spain type deal,
Yeah,
and then the other 10 are like The Last of Us, Miles
yeah.
Morales, Terminator, RoboCop, sort of thing. So I have started off the year with
I was gonna say
4
this is the
of
problem.
them.
You've started off really poorly now with these four
Yeah,
awful,
but I got 4
awful.
last year, so they now go and get Last of Us Part 2 remaster, and I go get I don't know what else is coming. I know Warhammer 40k could be similar to RoboCop or something type
Yeah,
platinum and thing like that, and you know so if
yeah,
I go get platinums like that next year, I guess
yeah. Well,
wouldn't be so
we'll
bad.
get to that. So let's get to goals as well, because I know me and you've got I think we've got our races. So the first thing we want to both do is 40% completion. You should hit that pretty soon.
Hmm.
But I suppose you're going to start some new stuff. So I don't know. Maybe it's been diluted by those 4 platinums. But I think. So what are you playing at the minute on PlayStation? What's your PlayStation game at
Uh,
the minute?
so I'm playing Resident Evil 4 remake
Okay,
at the
so you
moment.
started that and you haven't finished. So that will drag that up a
No,
little
I'm on
bit.
chapter. I want to say 8. You just separated from Ashley in the
Okay.
game, so.
Is it a doable platinum or is it a play the
No,
game
you
four
got to finish
times?
it. You got to play the game like 7
Okay.
times.
Okay, so at
Yeah,
least you can get more of a percentage on that.
yeah. Because I think I've only got like 9 trophies for the game so far.
Yeah.
I'm being on chapter 8, but obviously a couple of the trophies still to go, like beat like Ramon and Sadler and stuff like that. Beat the boss type ones and finish the game and all that. So there's at least I know a handful more like from finishing the game sort of type trophies to get
Yeah.
on that. Plus, remember, like I started things like Baldur's Gate,
Yeah.
which I'm only like an hour and a half in. I got like 1 trophy,
Hmm.
so which obviously really affects. So when I go back to that, which is part of our backlog challenge as well. Okay, I'm not gonna get all. Let's say it's got 50 trophies. So I'm not gonna get all 50 trophies on there. But if I finish the game, what's that gonna be? What, a good 15 or 20 of them sort of thing. Bring it up to 20, like odd percent, I would guess.
Yeah. So I was gonna say what PlayStation games are in your backlog 5?
It's Gravity Rush 2,
Okay.
Baldur's Gate 3. Um, there's Like a Dragon Ishin, but I'm much playing it on Xbox's Game Pass. And what was the other one? I honestly can't think on the other one. What? Sea of Stars.
Sea of Stars, which you'll play
Yeah,
on PlayStation because of the Portal.
yeah.
Yeah. Cool. So
So it's basically
that should drag it
all of
up.
them. Yeah, something plus like Gravity Rush I've started and I've got like 2 trophies on. Baldur's Gate I've started to like Sea of Stars they haven't finished. I know Andy, for instance, got the platinum. I think even Jay may have the platinum. I
Okay.
feel it's a doable-ish one. It's something to do with the boss fights or something, which is a bit of a pain, but it's easier after you finish the game, like a new game plus sort of thing. But I'm not 100% sure on that. Plus, by the time that's like 30-hour JRPG, there's lots of JRPGs coming. So
Yeah, there is. It's weird because I think this year is if there's a year where you can go through a backlog and get platinums, I think it probably is this year at the moment.
mm,
Um, yeah, because there's a lot coming, but there's also not. If that makes sense, it's a bit of a weird year.
yeah,
Okay, so that's fine. And then we've set ourselves a 15 platinum increase target.
yeah,
Should be doable. I want to get at least one a month, so
yeah.
12 is what I'm aiming for.
Apparently it's 0.04 per day, so
Right. Yeah, I
yeah.
don't know how they work these out, but yes, that's the
Well, I
goals.
guess 15 over 365 days, or
So
well,
it's a
3.
leap year, Chris. So we got an extra
Yeah, so
day
yeah, well, 361 days left to go allegedly.
because that's a Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is the leap year day we get.
Mhm.
Okay,
Which is a Thursday.
it is excellent. Right, so let's talk about games we want to play. So do
Yeah.
we need this? I don't think we need this anymore. So let's click off this.
I also set on one of my like goals that isn't a race one is a total of 100 platinums. One which I
26 away.
26 away, which is 0.0. per 7 a day. So it's not that thing, because remember, if I got, it says 26, and I got, was it 14? I said last year, and obviously I played like 300 hours on Switch, 300 hours on Xbox, and I can't see me playing anywhere near that on Switch. I that's gonna be what, 10 hours Princess Peach or something this year until the Switch 2. So if you take out all that time on Switch, and that's on PlayStation instead, that 14 platinums can easily sort of rise, sort of thing. So
Yeah, I think for you
but who
it's
knows
how
with
much
Xbox, like,
yeah, I was gonna say it's how
yeah,
much
if like
Xbox you play. I think.
if Hellblade, Avowed, and all that stuff gets dated for this year, and I'm playing them. Like, if we were to go back to the Wrap, which we both have video in, like, I've played something on PlayStation in every month apart from September, which was Starfield. So if you have an Hellblade, you have an Avowed and stuff like that, I can see a couple of months playing no PlayStation and playing Xbox instead, sort of thing. So
Yeah, definitely. I think for me, it's a very interesting year because I'm very busy this year. I've said on the podcast quite a lot. Like I've got courses I'm doing. There's plans in place for the next 12 months that will keep me really busy. But then I think my free time will have to be quite focused. So like for example, I'm not going to play a massive amount of Football Manager this year because it's such a waste of time, and I'm always on my laptop with other stuff that I
yeah,
will probably end up playing stuff like the Switch maybe, and then the PlayStation probably. The Switch, I mean, we'll do a whole conversation about New Year stuff at some point with Craig.
yeah,
The Switch for me, I think, will be one or two games that I just play a lot. So, like, for example, I have Persona 5 Royal on my Switch, so I can see the odd hour lying in bed here and there for, like, the whole year, but I'll only probably finish, like, that and Paper Mario. You know what I mean? Unless obviously the new console comes out, it'll be a different show we do, Chris.
yeah. See, that's the thing. What I was saying with like Nintendo next year, I can see like an 8 or 10 hours with Princess Peach and something in March, and then like nothing till September or October, and then literally it's suddenly 50 hours on Nintendo because I'm playing Mario Odyssey 2 and
Yeah, it gets
Wind
tough for
Waker
you.
HD or something on the
Yeah,
new
it gets
system.
really tough for you if the PS5 Pro is a thing, comes out at the same time, because I
Mm,
don't know what you would choose.
yeah,
Because obviously you've got your Portal, and
yeah,
you can you've essentially got a PS5 Wii U, haven't you? That's basically
yeah,
what you've got at the moment. So it's like, oh, I don't know if it's tough. Nintendo are in a really tough spot because I think even for people like us, like we've bought everything now for about 10 years. So like
yeah.
I'm starting to get a little bit bored of the same game all the time. And I
Mm,
criticize all three of them for this on the podcast. Like PlayStation with its sequel daddy issue stuff, and it's like, oh, I don't know if I want to play another Mario game because every game is a Mario game. You know what I mean? Like how
yeah.
many have come out? But anyway, that's a different show. For me and Xbox, I mean, I've got Cyberpunk and Elden Ring are my two Xbox backlog games, and
Mm,
WRC, which my partner got me for Christmas when they fix it, are like probably the three games I'm looking at. Like I probably will play those. Game Pass, I don't know. Like I want to lie to you and be like, oh yeah, Persona 3 Reload, but I know I won't play that on Game Pass.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I don't really know what else. Avowed, maybe I'll give it a go if you guys like it for content, really. But I'm not overly enamored so far with what's announced for Xbox. Obviously, we don't know a
Mm.
lot about any of them, do we? So,
No, no.
PlayStation's just backlog. So, like my main, obviously, I've got Ragnarok I'm playing at the minute. I do want to
Hmm.
go for the platinum. I really do. I know
Yeah,
because you were so close.
yeah.
Without being rude, I feel like if you're close, it means it's doable. So I'm kind of
Mm,
like, you know what, I'd like to do that. The big three, I suppose, for me are God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, because I have the other platinum, and Ghost of Tsushima. Because
mm,
I haven't even finished Ghost of Tsushima. I haven't played it for more than like 4 hours. I mean, I always enjoy the first 4 hours, and I just never, if something else comes and takes it away. So like, I have that physically as well. So like, I just want to like, that's one I really want to get the platinum for. And obviously Horizon as well. So that's the three. And then I think it starts to get much more backloggy for me. So I've got stuff like Jedi Fallen Order. I bought on a sale for about £1 on the PS5, and I have one trophy. So like and I haven't platinumed or completed that game before, and I'm like, oh, I would quite like to platinum that. Seeing you play Gravity Rush 2, I'm like, well, I could play Gravity Rush 2. That's on PS Plus. get the
Yeah,
platinum for
it's
that.
a weird because I remember when we did the backlog, I was going to chuck Alan Wake 2 in there so I could, so it would get me to sort of play that game, considering, spending like 30 quid on it digitally and that, and then we put Gravity Rush 2 in instead. Like, there's a few games like Gravity Rush 2, like, I don't know if I'm going to platinum, but, well, like, Sackboy, I've still not played Sackboy, for instance.
Yeah,
You know,
that's
when I get,
a multiplayer platinum as well. It's a
yeah,
really so I don't know if you've looked at the trophy list for that.
no, I've not.
It's one of those that if me and you decided we wanted to platinum it,
Yeah,
then we'd probably spend 2 hours one night going through the because a lot of the miscellaneous ones are like hit your teammate or throw your teammate off the side and like stuff like that, or like
yeah.
carry. Like, so basically, they're like challenge levels. You have to do a whole level basically carrying the other person, like physically carrying them and doing the time. So like
Yeah.
you could two controller it, but it's more fun with two of you. But I think other than that, it's a very doable platinum. I think it looks scary because
Yeah,
it's all
only
multiplayer.
11% have got the platinum.
Yeah, but it's
6,400 and
it's family multiplayer game,
6,000
isn't it?
people. 6,000 sounds a lot of people got it, but saying 57,000 have actually played the game.
Yeah.
And there's only 11%. So I don't know how rare it would be the platinum if we were to unlock it. 2.98 allegedly. So I don't know how that would stack up on. Let's go back to mine. How would that stack up? So 2.98. Let's have a look. Blah, 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 blah. Ratio. Yeah, it would be actually my rarest platinum because Stranded Deep's a 2.66.
Yeah, it would be my
So,
rarest too because I think mine's 1.9. My rarest.
Yeah.
I'll get back onto me, but yeah. So that one's certainly on there. Is there anything on in terms of not platinuming? Is there any sort of like PlayStation-y games you would like to just get done because you haven't done them? So like, for example, I would love to platinum one of the Uncharted games because that's like the big franchise, right? And I haven't got a platinum for any. I've got a friend that has all the platinums. I've got a couple of friends actually have all the platinums, and everyone always gets those platinums. But I'm like, I
Yeah,
don't know
but they're
any
kind of
them.
annoying. Haven't you got all the weird like play the game in like the hardest mode or
You've got to play.
whatever?
I think you have to play it on hard or crushing for the platinum. Like, there's one that you have to do and the one you don't. But it's not a very
Yeah.
hard game anyway, is it? Like, let's be honest. Like,
No, but that's always like kind of annoying me. Like I know you weren't a big fan of the game, and I guess we'll talk about it like proper podcast. For like Final Fantasy 16. If you look at that trophy list, it's pretty much do all the side quests, finish the game, and
yeah,
stuff like that. But you also got to finish the game on like Final Fantasy mode, which I don't think you get until you finish the game. So you got to play the game once, and then you got to play the game again in like the super hard mode. And those sort of trophies, like Resident Evil 7, you got not 7, Resident Evil 4. I think you got to finish the game like 7 times. Like you got to finish it once to unlock the professional mode and play it and that, and do it with only nice and sort of thing like that. Those sort of like if you unlock those platinums, it's obviously a really rewarding platinum and like super rare and stuff like that, sort of thing. But they are kind of really annoying. It's what I've actually liked about the recent PlayStation Studio platinums and stuff like that, like Spider-Man 2. It's basically just play the game and here's a platinum sort of thing, which. You got like Craig played, finished the game, did the side stuff, still didn't actually get the platinum. So there's a little bit of stuff you have to do it on that game. But I do like those sort of platinums that PlayStation have been doing recently, which kind of makes me interested to see what Helldivers 2's platinum is going to be like,
well,
considering
it's a
some
multiplayer game. Yeah,
That's the thing. Is it going to be like play 100 games? Which I guess if you're buying that game for 35 quid, you're going to play 100 games, the sort of thing. But I don't know. There's going to be stuff like that. It's going to be kind of annoying. I'd be like, get 1,000 kills with the AK, get 1,000 kills with the rocket launcher and stuff. I'm like, great. I hate using the rocket launcher, or that sort of thing. Maybe, who knows?
just looking at Helldivers ones. Did that not have a platinum?
No, because it would have been weird. Not a
No, but
proper.
for completion's sake, it is.
Mm.
It's not that difficult. It's just again, it's just play the game a lot.
Yeah.
To be honest, and Helldivers is one of those like, if I get tempted to buy a game before Final Fantasy, it probably will be Helldivers. But it's also difficult because I agree with you. Like, I don't really like the difficulty trophies. So like, for example, Ratchet and Clank, the movie game Titan.
Yeah.
You have to be a second time on challenge mode.
Right.
And that's why I don't have that platinum, because the sequel, you just get all the collectibles, do all the stuff, right? But yeah,
Yeah.
you have to play it twice to get the platinum. So I think I've got
Mm.
50% of the trophy, something like that. But I like a little bit of challenge. I like a little bit of miscellaneous, but I don't like,
Yeah.
I don't like multiplayer trophies really, unless it's like get to level 50. Like I hate it when it's
Yeah.
like with this gun, and I'm like no, absolutely not. But yeah, I'm just looking through my list as if there's anything. It's obviously Uncharted. One of the Uncharted I'd like to do, probably the first one, to be honest.
Yeah.
Because 2,
Yeah.
I hate Lazarevich's boss fight, and I think that would send me. But there's some stuff in, like, obviously I need to finish Concrete Genie because that's just finished
Yeah.
the game basically, but I just got bored.
Mm.
What else we got in it that's tasty, Pengy? I need a racing game really because I always like a racing game platinum, but it's not really much that I
Yeah.
haven't played.
Yeah. I'm just trying to think what racing games are coming
Yeah,
this
I
year.
did look at Monster Hunter World, and I was like, oh, do me and
Mm.
Pengy go for the platinum on Monster Hunter World because that is
No,
the most play the
you got all the
game thing in the world.
yeah, but you got all the crown stuff, haven't you, and things like that. I don't really know how that works.
Luckily, you know some
I
people, Chris.
yeah, I guess you've got the new Mud Runners game that looks quite good,
Maybe.
which is coming this year. It's
Great.
like a
Should I go for the
racing-ish
Gran
game.
Turismo platinum? Just fucking play the game a billion hours. It's basically how you do get that platinum.
Mm. Oh yeah, because in that got something
It's
like a
got all the
loot box
endurance
thing.
races and stuff as well.
Yeah, but I'm sure there's some weird loot box thing
Yeah.
for one of the cars or something. You can only get it through that, and it's just a bit of a pain.
So here's a question for you: will you
Yeah.
ever get a Square Enix platinum or a Metal Gear Solid platinum?
The Square Enix one is possible.
Because Nier
Like I said,
Automata is the easiest one.
yeah, it's the easiest if you could buy the trophies
Uh-huh.
in the game and stuff like that. So that's one of the easiest. So, yeah, like I said, the problem is, and I'll do it again with Rebirth. They'll be like, beat Ultimate Weapon in Final Fantasy mode. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. If they got rid of like those ones and it's just get like all the cards for the card game or whatever, all the collectibles and
Yeah.
stuff, I mostly would platinum Rebirth, but it's the silly, having to do it on.
See,
And you have to
remakes was the dresses. That's the trophy that stopped me doing it for remake.
Oh
Because it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
3 playthroughs of like following a guide.
Mm. Yeah, if they do stuff like that, which is annoying. And same with like Valkyrie Elysium I played last year. Like you got to play the game in Valkyrie, you got to finish the game in Valkyrie mode and stuff like that. Yeah, Square do that quite often, sort of thing, which is annoying. But they got Foam Stars to remember this year, so
God.
what platinum is that gonna have?
All right. I suppose the last one, I know the answer to this, but I have to ask it. Is there any hope of you finishing a Soulsborne this year?
Just finishing one.
Yeah, because I'd like to finish one, and then see how brave I got. Because the lists aren't actually that bad. So
Yeah.
like Bloodborne's list isn't that bad. It's just beat all the bosses, beat the game. Is basically, from what I can tell, is literally just beat the game. If you beat the game and kill all the bosses, you basically get the platinum. It's like acquire all weapons is like the hardest one. It's like, oh,
Yeah.
that's quite tempting. Demon Souls, because it's such a good looking game. But we'll see. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself here, but yeah,
Yeah, I think you're getting
I
ahead
want to
of
get
that.
one really difficult one. Is what I'm saying, Chris. Like I feel like one
Yeah.
difficult platinum, especially for you because you're going for 100. So like platinum number 100 has to be a special game.
Yeah. It's yeah. I don't know. Like, I saw another trailer of it the other day because I think PlayStation put out like a scissor rail coming this year. Like, Rise of the Ronin does look kind of good, but I'm like, how soulsy is it gonna be? And stuff like that. Because I was reading a preview and they were saying it's more like Ghost of Tsushima than a Souls game. So I'm like, if it's like Ghost of Tsushima, then I kind of maybe be keen on that. But it comes out the same day as Dragon's Dogma 2, and I'll be playing Dragon's Dogma 2.
Could you
Like,
go
I don't
for the
know,
Dragon Dogma's platinum, Chris?
Yeah, exactly. I think what's the platinum on that? Yes, yeah, I could see that having like, level 100 for the Archer class, level 100, like without looking at Dragon Dogma's one's platinum, and obviously that was a long time ago.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
but yeah, it's an interesting year. I think
Dark Arisen.
it'll be a good year. Is there anything off the top of your head for platinum 100 that you've thought about?
Not really. The platinum, the time for Dragon Dogma and Dark Arisen is 100 hours. For the platinum, and allegedly.
Yeah. So I think my number 100, I think is gonna be Sleeping Dogs.
Nice.
Because I've had that on PlayStation, bought and like tucked away, for a while, because I see for it's one of those. And do you think? So obviously we talked about it a little bit earlier. You've got the Portal now.
Mm.
Do we think the Portal increases the chance of you getting a turn-based RPG platinum?
Yeah, again, possible. Like I said about Sea of Stars, like what I've seen is a weirdly doable platinum and something to do with these boss fights, which is easier after the New Game Plus. I think obviously because of New Game Plus, you carry off all your items. There's some like fast travel item or something, so you can go to all the bosses and something like that. So that's it. Again, if I could miss trophies during the game or something, I'm not even realizing, and that's most of the time. Like even with my RoboCop and my Terminator Platinums recently, I've really only got them just playing the game naturally, and like, oh, I'm playing, it's like, oh, I'm, you know, playing, the side quest as RoboCop. Like I said, you get like the city stuff, like you're RoboCop, yet you're giving out parking tickets and stuff. It's kind of funny and silly, and you're getting trophies like same with Terminator. It's like just get all the collectibles. So that's a wink and a nod back to the first film and that sort of thing. So yeah, see if we like Sea of Stars how it goes.
Okay, nice, Pengy. Right. Well,
But then you've got things like Grand Blue that comes out like. That the only thing is, I didn't think that had multiplayer, and there's recently a multiplayer trailer for it. It's like, I could have multiplayer trophies, which could be meh.
I think again, what multiplayer trophies are a pain, but again, like you've got the Portal, like you can play it in bed. Like if I could get hold of one, that's what I would do. Like I would just play in bed and be like, right, I'm playing Helldivers. I'm gonna get my 100 games by playing 3 games a night, lying in bed while my girlfriend's on TikTok or something. Like, you know what I mean? But yeah, it's like I said, let's get a commitment out of you, Pengy. So I've got my little list. Hang on, bear with me a sec. So organised. It's just like the old days. The old days. It was fun, by the way. I did say, I know I've talked about it before. I did do a rewatch of the old Pod of War podcast and the original kind of funny PS I Love You XOXO. And what a time! What a time we used to have talking about video games. So my 5 goals, Chris. You ready for my 5 goals?
Yeah.
1, reach 40% completion. That's fair.
Same. So yeah.
2, platinum 1 Uncharted game.
Okay.
You can replace that with a game of your choice if you want.
Right, I'm not going to replace it with a game. I'm actually going to replace it with a studio.
Okay.
I say that because I know like I've got a Gorilla Platinum. Okay, it's Killzone Liberation, but I do have a Platinum for Gorilla. Naughty Dog, I have Last of Us Part 1.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a Sony Ben trophy. And
yours needs to be to finish Days Gone, not platinum it, just finish it.
And you have all the Siphon Filter games on Plus.
You do, yeah. They're quite doable.
Yeah, they're quite doable. I've never really played the Siphon Filter games properly because obviously they're mainly PS1 games and there's ones on PSP and PS2. And obviously what was also on the PlayStation 1? That was miles better.
Wingback.
No. That's more of an N64 game.
The game you're about to say does have a platinum on PS5, Chris. You could go for
Metal Gear Solid.
Could you go for the... So, it's currently on sale, $12.99, Chris. You want to get the Metal Gear Solid platinum?
I think it's actually kind of an awkward platinum as well.
All of the Metal Gear ones are awkward.
Yeah. But yeah, like I've never really given the Siphon Filter series a proper chance either. That's the thing. So it's like, oh, I've not got a Ben trophy. I've not really played Siphon Filter games.
Have you got...
And I've just renewed obviously my PlayStation Plus for a year, and they're on Plus. Yeah. So it's like a bit of a combination of different things and stuff. And then like, if I like the first one, then I still got like 4 other games to play and stuff like that.
Have you got a Sucker Punch platinum?
I don't have a Sucker Punch platinum.
I feel like that's one you should do because both of the infamous PS4 games are really easy to do.
Yeah, and I haven't played Second Son for ages, so I could just replay it.
So you just have to do what I do and be a dick for the second playthrough.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I did that last year or the year before, and it didn't take me very long. It's a pretty easy platinum to get, to be honest. There's a couple of ones where you have to like watch a video because you need to like do a certain thing, like they're like don't touch the ground in 15 seconds, and like there's an easy way to do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And like the Insomniac, I've got
I've got almost all of them.
I've got
Spider-Man
4.
2 and Ratchet on PS4 are the only PS4, PS5 ones I don't have.
Yeah, see, so I've got 4 Spider-Man ones, and I could get a 5th if I Miles and played the PS4 version of
Yeah, I
Miles.
thought about it. I was like, I'm not playing that game twice again on PS4.
Mm.
Okay. Well, you could also go and get the classic Insomniac ones because the Spyro Platinums. I've got
Yeah.
one of them. 2 and 3 I do own. Lovely. Okay, so my number 3 on my list is get 12 Platinums throughout the year. We've talked about that. That should be fine.
I thought we had 15. I thought the goal was
15 is the goal on here, but this is my own personal goal. Like that's my like safety. I think one a month is good. Number 4, finish a Souls game. I don't know how me and you haven't finished a Souls game. So I feel like
I wonder if I finished a Souls game.
an actual Souls game. So you haven't done Demon Souls,
No,
Dark Souls,
no,
2,
no.
3.
Does that be like a From Software Souls game?
Like,
Or can it be a Souls game?
I think a From Software Souls game. So I think we've both done Jedi. I think.
But were Lords of the Fallen count?
I mean,
It's a Souls like.
I feel like it's a Souls like. I feel like an actual FromSoft Souls game. It's like
Yeah.
it's one of those like if you're
Because
a gamer.
Yeah, because I'm trying to think how Soulsy does it Otogi games were on the original Xbox.
Yeah, but that's we're not talking about Xbox, Chris.
Yeah,
and that wasn't really a like classic FromSoft, was it? Like I'm talking like since Demon Souls.
What if I go back and play Kingsfield 4 on PS2? Would that count?
I feel like one of the Souls games, like Dark Souls, Demon Souls, Bloodborne, Elden Ring. I feel like one of those is one that I think we should do.
Yeah, see,
especially because me and you are such cowards at finishing video games.
Yeah, like I have Elden Ring on the Xbox.
Yeah, so
it's my only physical Xbox game. Yeah, it's one of those things.
I do want to do Demon Souls. I do want to do Demon Souls, and we can co-op that like absolute bitches, couldn't we? Or Bloodborne. I mean, the reason I never want to go to Bloodborne is I know the second I start playing it, they'll announce a remaster that's 60 frames.
Yeah,
and then I'll be like, great, I'm gonna have to replay it now. But yeah, that's one I'd like to do anyway. A Souls game. And then number 5 is really crucial, Chris. Don't sell a PS5.
Yeah.
Because I have sold one every time I've bought one or won one.
Yeah.
Within a year. But it's always my most played console.
Yeah.
But yeah, especially if as long as Final Fantasy 16 doesn't upset me.
You mean 7 Rebirth, I guess,
that
this time doesn't
me. There's no way that can upset me as much as 16
upset
me.
You say that, but what if it does something crazy like kills Barrett instead of Aerith?
That's fine.
Like, no.
It's the gameplay that upset me the most about 16.
Yeah.
But yeah, my again, I've talked about this on the show. My problem is I panic about money. So I'll get like a big bill for something, and then I'll panic. The only thing that's worth any money is my PlayStation, and I'll sell it. I've always been the same because I've always had no money. So I think I just need to get over it, really. Yeah, because I don't plan on spending a lot of money on stuff like subscriptions this year, because they're either paid up or I'll just do it ad hoc when there's certain games. Because we just don't play multiplayer online enough. Like if we're like, we're gonna play, I don't know, some game 3-player online, then I'll get a month for £7, or like a certain games on Plus.
Yeah.
And then Xbox is, I don't know. Xbox is funny because we'll talk about it on the show, but like, I don't think I'm gonna play my Xbox a whole lot this year.
Yeah, it's weird. But Xbox, I think it'll either be like my most play system or my least play system this year, just depending if their first party games come out.
Yeah, and if Nintendo don't do a console this year, say if the Switch 2 comes out in 25, I feel like for you it could be the most PlayStation you've ever played. Since the good old days.
Yeah, the good old days of the
2015,
PS1.
the PS4 and the Vita. That's the good old days, Chris. You know it.
Yeah.
The happiest times.
Yes.
Well, is there any other trophy or PlayStation stuff you would like to add that you would like to do?
No, I'd like I said, I'd like to get some more platinums from the first party studios. Ben seemed one, but like you said, there is Sucker Punch. I'm trying to think who else there is. Yeah, there's House Smart, but then it's like
I'd like the Resogun one. I must say.
Do I really want to play Returnal?
Returnal's platinum is really hard because there's a really big RNG element in the middle of it.
Yeah, plus it's a roguelike, but roguelikes are
it's
everywhere
at the moment, right? Would you play? Would you go for Ragnarok if it came to Plus?
Well, I'm only missing that one damn trophy, which is very nice. Or do you mean playing some Valhalla?
No, probably both.
So I would obviously try for Valhalla if it came to A plus because it's got story elements and
It
stuff like
does.
that, and like that one trophy is very annoying because it's that one enemy drops an item, like that one enemy never dropped the item for me. It's just right, but maybe I don't know, like maybe that enemy because obviously it's a roguelike thing. Maybe you weirdly fight that enemy again in the roguelike mode. That'd be funny, wouldn't it? If I played the roguelike mode and the same enemy in there and it actually drops the item or something.
Well, it might do.
Um,
Might be worth doing some research because that'd be a good one to get. I think. I mean, I'd like to go back and do 2018 as well, but I think
mm,
I'll probably be God
yeah, I
of War
looked at the
out.
trophy list of that. I'm actually missing loads of trophies
It's
on that game.
collectibles
So.
because I think. Do you have to get the Eyes of Odin in Ragnarok? The birds.
Uh, yeah, yeah,
You do because there's only
yeah.
there's a 48 I think in Ragnarok, whereas they're
Mm,
way harder to see and get in God of War, the first one,
right.
because
No,
the
yeah.
fast travel just isn't as good. Whereas already I'm
Mm,
like, so I'm doing side quests at the minute in Ragnarok, and I'm like, oh, this is
yeah,
way easier. But
yeah.
yeah, good old God of War. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I like it'd be like PlayStation video they put out, like Concord and Fair Game. Was it Concord and Fair Games were
hmm
in there, or was it just Concord, or both
Concord
of them?
definitely was. I don't know about Fair Games.
Yeah, I think Concord
I
was there.
want
Yeah,
I want
like
something. I want
that's
an
another.
Uncharted game or a God of War spin-off or something. Like I want a
Mm,
proper game this year. I don't like. I will say, and I said this to Craig on the air actually, so you can trust me here. The fact that Last of Us 2 at the minute is less than 40 quid.
mm,
Fair play to them on that. I think that's cool. But like, I would like a spin-off game of one of the other ones because I don't see this year being the year where they turn around and go, here's Infamous 5 or
mm,
here's
mm,
maybe Ghost of Tsushima 2, but I think even that might be too soon because of Rise of Ronin.
yeah.
But it's
Mm,
like, like, if we're gonna get, if this is gonna be the year of the smaller first party games because they've realised their mistake with the multiplayer, then I would like, an Uncharted game that's about Cassie,
mm.
and give
Really, I
me
think they've got. I think they've only really got three studios that can put something out this year, and that's Asobi, because the last game was Astro four
yeah, but
years
that's gonna
ago,
be their only VR game this year, isn't it? Whatever they put out.
possibly.
Oh, please we'll talk about that in a second.
Blue Point, because obviously their last game was Dark Souls,
Demon Souls, but yeah, they're working on
Demon Souls,
working on a secret hidden game, aren't they? That they haven't told
yeah,
anyone about.
and Bend, obviously their last game, Days Gone. So
And they were allegedly working on an Uncharted game.
that's really you got like your weird. There's like weird studios like and stuff, isn't there? Like really small weird ones. Like
Yeah.
there's the rumored one that was gonna do an Uncharted game, wasn't there? Is it
Mm.
Virtuos or something like that?
Yeah,
Was
and then obviously
apparently.
you've got like remakes of other games. You've got like the Metal Gear Solid Delta shenanigans
Mm,
coming out. I mean, I think PlayStation has to have about three more games. Like you're right. Like I think it
mm,
will be Concord,
mm,
um, because we're not getting Last of Us multiplayer, and then
yeah.
they have to put something else out there. I think they'll announce Last of Us 3 this year.
Mm,
But
yeah.
yeah, the last big question, Chris, because this is we've managed to skip by this. PSVR 2
Mm-hmm.
has it got any hope for you this year at the moment?
I can't see it. I think it's dead. I do think.
They've really, really seriously neglected it, haven't they? Like, because
Mm,
we did the show obviously when the first PSVR came out, and everyone was quite excited for it.
yeah.
And I said I rewatched our stuff, and obviously you did a lot of videos. We did some videos together, and like we really enjoyed it. I
Yeah.
think you genuinely liked the PSVR one as well. Like I think you were one of
Mm,
the you're one of the people that's like, yeah, like the Greg Millers, that you were like, yeah, I like this.
yeah.
Added to the console. But two, it just has no momentum because like I said to you at the time, like I really want one, but I'm
Mm,
not spending 600 quid on it for Horizon Call of the Mountain and Beat Saber. I'm
mm.
like, what are we doing? So I do wonder. I think
This
they
is
have
the
to have the
this
Asobi game. I think they
This
have
is
to.
the thing. I think that'd be such a waste of Team Asobi putting out a PSVR
So
game.
do I, but I think they will. I think it has to. I think
Yeah.
you have to have an Astro's Playroom,
Mm,
Astro's Rescue Mission. Sorry, either sequel or remaster, and then I
mm,
think you have to give Valve whatever money they want
mm.
for Alex.
Yeah. See, I made on the G Name before in my predictions of the year. I put a prediction: Alex comes to Quest 3.
Yeah, I think if you get Alex and Asgard's Wrath on
Yeah.
PSVR 2 with
Well,
one more title.
Asgard's obviously is meta owned, so
Yeah,
that's
but
not gonna happen.
they've done cross stuff before. Like it could be a case of
Yeah.
like, oh, we'll give you Astro, like
Yeah.
build up VR as a whole. Because I think If you were to,
That's the problem with VR. I've always said this. It's
yeah,
because of I've always, we have exclusives on Xbox, we have exclusives on PlayStation, we have they've all got like 50 million plus install
yeah,
bases, but VR's like the last number we had for PSVR 2 was 600,000,
it's
and
quite a big number though.
yeah, sort of thing. It's like it's such a small bit, and then you're shrinking even more by going Asgard Draft only on Quest and stuff like that. It's like it's on no other headset. It's like yeah, it's like this is the thing. Like the audience is niche, and then it's even nicher. So I do kind of agree with you. It should be the sort of like everywhere VR, but then you could argue that should be for all games, and it's no different.
Yeah,
So it's
I see.
it going a whole different thing is like and then obviously different powers of headsets and all that sort of
Yeah,
stuff.
it's just the price. Like, so I've just gone on Amazon because I'm just curious, right? So like, PSVR 2 isn't even on here anymore, from what I can see.
No,
But the fact that you can get a Quest with the Quest Best Game, and they're even doing it's £476, but they're also doing
yeah,
a £95 a month pay over 5 months interest free on Amazon, which is it's not
yeah.
like it's credit. It's weird because like PSVR 2 has a lot of physical games, and they
There's
still
like
have a
four
lot.
physical games coming out in February.
Yeah,
Weirdly
and like
for it,
if
I
you
think.
go into like, so I've been into game quite recently. Like
Yeah,
there's a whole space for it,
yeah,
but it's like, yeah, you can't buy the headset on here because, like I said, I've always been like, me and my girlfriend talked about it at the time when you got yours. Like
yeah.
I really am interested in it if I'm into the ecosystem, because I think for people like me and you, when you're in, you're all in. So like you've got the Portal now. So like
Yeah.
if the Nintendo doesn't announce anything the first 6 months of the year, and you just
Mm.
basically go back to being the PlayStation god, it'd only take one big game for you to go back to PSVR 2.
Yeah, I think it might be one, but yeah, it could be and stuff. But weirdly, I haven't actually played that much Portal recently, but because I have been playing a lot of Switch, like Wonder and Superstars, both handheld, but now they're both done.
Yeah, if I,
I'm
it's
sort of
like I said, I can't even get hold of a Portal. I've looked and I'm like, nope,
yeah,
it's sold out everywhere.
yeah,
I need to borrow yours. That's what I need to do because I need to see if it will work on my internet.
yeah,
That's what I need to do. But maybe we'll have
mm,
to do an exchange for something at some point.
yeah,
I'll lend you some of these fabled Xbox games that I have.
mm,
You can have my American copy of Final Fantasy 12.
right,
But yeah, PSVR 2. It's funny. I mean, I still wish they'd do a handheld, like a proper handheld. I don't. I
yeah,
haven't ruled it out. I think Xbox is going to do it. I think Xbox is generally going to. I think there's too many Windows machines that they're not in control of, that they're going to be like,
mm,
hang on a minute, why
mm,
aren't we doing our own? But
yeah.
PlayStation, I think that would be crazy. I mean, me and you would buy it day one. So
Yeah, and I expect I'm trying to think of a recent. This is the also thing is like there doesn't seem to be much news around PSVR 2. Like when that was coming out. Obviously, I did the videos and stuff like that when it's up. Upcoming and there's like, you have Upload VR and what's the other? There is one called like Enter. No, Enter the PSVR Bazaars. What's the one? There's one that covers just covers PSVR, and there's a few others that I follow. And I've seen stuff recently on Quest like Asgard's Wrath, but I've not even like seen anything from like these VR channels talking about anything about PSVR 2. So I
no,
couldn't even. So I was gonna look up like a recent PSVR 2 game and like see what it's. Oh, one's called Long Journey or something, or Fountain, or just Synapses that come out last year, wasn't it?
yeah,
I wonder how
Synapse.
rare. Yeah. Wonder how rare that like platinum is.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's one of those. There's a few. So I've just looked.
only two,
There's a
only
few
2.57.
channels. There's like some decent games. Like for example, you've got Bulletstorm VR coming out,
Mm,
which is probably a pretty fun game. It's an old game, right? But that'd be probably pretty fun. Vertigo 2 looks pretty good, and
yeah.
that's got a physical. But yeah, you are clutching at straws a bit when you look at these, and you're like, you've got like knockoff games and like what looks like asset flick games
Mm,
alongside it. But yeah, it does make me a bit sad. It's one of those, like, again, like we'll see in the year if one of us
yeah.
decides to get one. A price cut, I think, would probably be. I mean, it's what's it, 560 now? If that was 399, I think maybe
Mm,
I'd take a punt. In the summer, but yeah, we'll see.
yeah.
We'll
Yeah,
see.
this is the thing. If the Quest 3 picks up like Quest 2 or something, like
Look,
it's
look,
gonna have the biggest install base and stuff
yeah,
like that. You don't need a console, and it's also got the MR stuff, which looks quite cool. I've seen like a platformer thing the other day. It was more like Darksiders sort of style. Like the girl looked a bit like, which one is it? Wrath? That's the female character in Darksiders.
Yes.
Yeah, it looked a bit like Wrath or something like that. But it's like, yeah, it's like in the room, moving around the character and stuff, like in this platform level. I was like, oh, that actually looks quite cool and something different. Um, if all that sort of stuff takes off with like Quest, which obviously PSVR 2 doesn't do.
Quest
Yeah,
looks
so
great, but again, Quest solves the problem. It's wireless.
mm,
That's you know what I mean. Like I think people have been quite impressed with Quest recently,
mm,
because of Ascot's Wrath, and they're doing a good deal. I always see it advertised, and it's
mm,
like, well, where's if they did a PSVR 2 Pro, for example, that was just they managed to get it wireless. I think it
mm,
would do. It's what they should have done. I don't think they should have tied it to the PS5.
mm.
But we'll see. As for other hardware, obviously there's the Pro that's long
Yeah.
rumored at this point, so it's probably real. And they've just brought
Yeah,
out the
it's weird
Slim,
though.
and so it's like, oh,
Like obviously we had all those hacks from Insomniac, and a pro wasn't mentioned once. And you got to think if someone, if a studio was to know about a pro, Insomniac would know about a pro. But there's all been all these rumors about the pro, so it's a bit of a weird one.
I don't think it's
Thing.
needed yet. I think it's well too early.
Mm,
Um, but what do I know? Because
yeah.
how many years was it? Were we in when we've done the first Pro
We would
game?
have had the pro, but we had the pro by now.
Okay, but we've only just got the Slim.
Mm.
Obviously
Yeah, but they were close.
COVID
I think
changes
they
it
were
all up
close.
as well.
I think they were close together though, weren't they? The
They were the
Slim and the
same
Pro.
day on PS4,
Mm.
so the day before or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think COVID has slowed all down because of the chip shortage. I just don't
Mm.
know. I just don't think we need it. I don't
Yeah.
think we've tapped into anywhere near to 100% of the PS5's power yet.
No.
And it does 4K. It does technically does 8K, but like, who's got an 8K screen, Chris? Like,
No.
do we need more than 4K 60 ray tracing anymore? Like, that's all we need, right?
Yeah. I
But
guess I think I said to you as a chat, like just kind of like all those things together in one time and not having to have choices, even
yeah,
though a pro would mostly give you more choices. But I kind of want it the
yeah,
opposite.
but it's
I mean,
also like it'd
I
have to
wanted less
cost so
choices.
much, wouldn't it? Because do PCs even really do that at the moment?
I don't know, but yeah, that's But like I'm putting Resident Evil 4 Remake, for instance. I know there's a PS4 version, so it's not next gen only. But like you get a choice of performance or quality, and then you can actually even turn on if you want the fancy hair or if you want ray tracing, and you can do that on and you can do that on both settings. So you can go like quality with the fancy hair and the ray tracing, but then the frame rate apparently tanks to like 20 frames a second if you do that sort of thing. And then I actually had the fancy hair and the ray tracing on, but in performance, it was a solid fixed 60. But if you like pan the camera around on it, like Leon's face, he just like this looks like a PS3 game now. Like the resolution took such a hit. So I guess a pro with that, like if you want the quality both with the hair, fancy hair, and the ray tracing on, would it stick to a 30 frames at least, not tank to like 20 frames or something? And would that resolution not drop to like 720p? Would it stick to like a 1080p or something? Like sort of thing. Again, this is giving us more options where I would just like, here's the 4K, here's the 60 frames, here's both in one go, using Resident Evil 4 Remake as a example.
Yeah, I suppose that's another question. Is like, do we think this is the year we finally move away from PS4 releases?
Yeah, I think so. I think obviously we'd have like a few, like you saw Prince of Persia coming on PS4, was on Switch as well. I think Persona 3 Reload is PS4. I feel it's mainly going to be Japanese games, weirdly, because obviously the PS5 haven't really taken off over
No.
in Asia. So you're going to have Persona.
Well, like they've only just started
It,
putting the Trails games on PS5,
yeah,
for example.
you're going to have Grand Blue and Metaphor ReFantasia. I'm sure that's on PS4
Oh
as well.
yeah, God, I'm looking forward to that game.
Sort of thing. So I feel like, but I think from Western studios, I think it's pretty much all going to be PS5 and Series X.
Good,
Oh,
Ty. Good.
yeah.
PS5
I
PS5 games are better anyway, right? So
yeah, yeah.
lovely. Well, we've managed to talk 55 minutes about the PlayStation, Chris. We'll probably do this again at some point, maybe in a month's time. See where we're at.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you
And
want,
you were like, Pengos, what if you now got 50 more platinums? But it's all
well, that's fine.
quiz
If you
this
do
San Reno.
40, if you did 49 crap platinums, but then did Demon Souls, I'd let it slide. But
Mm,
if you liked us talking about PlayStation, you got this far, hit the like button, put a comment about what kind of platinum goals you have for the year. We do more. Me and Chris are quite happy to talk about PlayStation. This is literally how we started doing this show.
yeah.
It does come quite easy to us, which is quite funny. And then maybe if Craig stops being so miserable, we can get him on to talk PlayStation. Now he's a big PlayStation fan.
Yeah, he's a
Can we
huge
get Craig to
PlayStation
get a
fan.
platinum this year? That's our combined goal, is to bully Craig into getting one platinum this year.
Yeah.
What would it be? Probably Last of Us, right? But
Mm.
thank you for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.